You know that feeling, right? That sense that you're just completely drowning in notifications, emails, texts. It feels like our digital lives are running the show and we're just trying to keep up. So let's get into it, because it turns out there's a really, really good reason we all feel this way.
Just look at this number for a second. 96. That's the average number of times we check our phones every single day. If you do the math, that's roughly once every 10 minutes that we're awake. So yeah, that feeling of being overwhelmed, it's not just in your head. The numbers are pretty staggering.
I mean, this quote from a couple of researchers just hits the nail on the head. We are drowning. And all of this has led to this huge cultural movement, this one-size-fits-all solution that promises to rescue us, the digital detox. But what is it really promising? And more importantly, what's the reality?
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to look at the promise of unplugging and all the problems it's supposed to solve. Then we'll dig into what the research actually says about it. And finally, we'll land on a much smarter way to think about disconnecting.
So why is this idea of a digital detox so popular? I mean, it's more than just wanting fewer notifications. It really taps into this deep desire for something that feels, well, real or authentic. It's like we're all a bit nostalgic for a time before we were connected 24/7, a time we imagined was just simpler.
So let's make sure we're on the same page. The term digital detox actually made it into the Oxford Dictionary way back in 2013. And the key thing here is the goal, right? It's all about reducing stress and focusing on the physical world. It's framed as this temporary cleanse, not some permanent vow to give up technology forever.
Okay, so what exactly is a detox supposed to fix? Well, the folks who champion them say our constant connectivity is basically an attack on three huge parts of our lives. They argue our time, our physical space, and our mental and physical health are all under siege. First up, there's what they call temporal overload. Have you ever picked up your phone for just a second and then, bam, an hour's gone? That's what this is. It's this feeling of time famine, where our day is just chopped up into tiny, distracted pieces. The promise of a detox is that you can finally get that time back.
Second, there's spatial intrusion. I mean, our digital lives just don't care about physical boundaries anymore, do they? Work emails pop up at the dinner table, and when we're with people we love, we can still feel alone together, with everyone just staring at their own little screen. The idea here is that unplugging helps us be truly present again. And third, there's the damage to our bodies and minds. We've all heard of text neck, sure, but the mental side is a huge deal. Study after study links heavy social media use to things like anxiety and depression, a lot of it fueled by comparing our messy, real lives to someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel. A detox is supposed to be a chance to heal from all that. All right, so that's the promise. And it sounds amazing, right? It's powerful, it's tempting, but does it actually hold up? Let's switch gears now and look at what happens when scientists actually put the digital detox under the microscope. Because the reality, well, it's a lot more complicated.
This is it. This is the big question. After all the hype, all the wellness articles, and all the detox retreats, does unplugging actually deliver on its promises? Does it really make us happier and less stressed?
And this is where we get a major reality check. A big review in 2021 looked at 21 different studies on digital detoxes. And their conclusion wasn't a simple yes or no. Turns out the effects were kind of all over the place. Some good, some bad, and some just nothing.
And here is where it gets really messy. For something like life satisfaction, some studies found it went up after a detox, but others found it actually went down or didn't change at all. Same thing for stress. And for anxiety, most studies found unplugging had no real effect. The big takeaway here is that a digital detox is absolutely not a magic bullet.
But hey, it's not all just a big question mark. The research did find two areas where a detox consistently seems to help. The first one's obvious. Yeah, if you do a detox, you spend less time on screens. But the second one is really important. Taking a digital break was consistently linked with lower symptoms of depression. But then you have the other side of the coin. The research also found some real downsides. For some people, going cold turkey can actually trigger withdrawal symptoms, like more anxiety or an intense craving to get back online. For others, it just creates a fear of missing out, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. And this right here helps explain why the results are so mixed.
So if a full-blown all-or-nothing detox can actually backfire, then what are we supposed to do? Well, the research points to a much more sustainable idea, moving away from a reactive detox, which is what you do when you're already burnt out, to a proactive, thoughtful digital diet. To do that, we have to correctly identify the real problem. And it's not the technology itself. It's something researchers call technostress. It's a term for the negative impact all this tech has on our thoughts, our behaviors, and even our bodies. The goal isn't just to get offline. It's to manage this specific kind of stress. And this leads to a really important shift in how we think about this. A detox is a coping strategy. You're reacting to burnout after it's already happened. A digital diet, on the other hand, is a prevention strategy. You're proactively setting up your life to stop that burnout from happening in the first place.
So how do you actually do that? Well, researchers suggest a simple 4-step plan. First, reflect. Really think about your values and what you want your life to look like. Second, segment. Create clear, hard boundaries, like no phones at the dinner table, period. Third, regulate. Use the tools on your phone to serve you. Manage your notifications. Don't let them manage you. And finally, replace. Actively trade mindless scrolling for something you actually find rewarding offline.
And really, that's what it all comes down to. The evidence tells us that instead of asking if you need some radical all-or-nothing detox, maybe the better question to ask yourself is this: what's the right, sustainable digital diet for my life, for my goals, and for my own well-being?